All right, so this is going to be a reading for Sagittarius. And for the Sagittarius that I'm reading for today, I'm picking up on some type of connection. You have the Two of Cups in your overall energy. And there's something here that Spirit wants you to know about this connection. They want to dive into it with you. But before I dive into that, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and for receiving this reading. If you would like a personal reading, I do offer them, and you can email me. Sorry, not email me. You can go to my new website, which is down below in the description box. It's ajstarot.com. And if this reading resonates with you, please take a second to like and subscribe, as that helps me connect more with other energies. So, Sagittarius, for the Two of Cups, we get the Magician, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Page of Wands. So, when it comes to progressing in this connection, I see that things are going somewhat slowly. They are manifesting, but it's like just taking a long time, or something's taking a long time. Um, in the recent past, we had the King of Cups, the Emperor, and the Six of Pentacles. So, pretty solid energy, a lot of love present, a feeling of give and take. Let's take a look at that King of Cups in the recent past. The King of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, the Page of Pentacles. Someone here has some insecurities about what they can offer in the material world. There's like a lot of love, and there's sort of this deep emotional connection, but in terms of resources, wealth, stability, there's like insecurities around, can I really provide here? I don't know if that's you or the other person, but someone, has insecurities about that. For the Emperor, we have the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Six of Wands. So then we have this energy of someone feeling very secure within themselves. This is an energy that's kind of standing opposite the other energy and saying, I actually don't really need anyone to provide for me because I can support myself and I do pretty well at it. Again, that could be you or the other energy, just kind of take it as it resonates. But someone kind of built their confidence up in terms of, I got me, I can support myself. For some reason, the financial instability aspect seems pretty significant here, and that's the background that I'm seeing to this situation. I'm also seeing that over time, this connection grew in its importance, in its stability. There was a feeling of we're really creating something here. This could be someone that you go way back with, or a connection from the past. It could feel like you've known this person for a long time. But again, in the current energy, we have the King of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Pentacles. So someone goes from feeling very confident about this to feeling very insecure, or, again, wondering about things with the Two of Pentacles. And I'm not really sure what that is about, but the oracle cards for today are inner voice, adventure, and fragmentation. And so really what I'm seeing here is that it's extremely important for you to listen to your inner voice, and also to trust and follow your inner voice to guide you in the right direction. Adventure is about stepping into the unknown, opening up. And especially if you're having a hard time trusting and a hard time opening up, trust yourself. Trust that your inner voice isn't going to lead you in the wrong direction, because that fragmentation that came out, I see that as being you who ends up kind of two minds in that Two of Pentacles fragmented energy, where you're not really sure which step to take, or you might second guess yourself, or you might feel kind of split down the middle rather than feeling harmonious and unified within yourself. Let's take a look at what it is that's causing this hesitation. Let's look at that Two of Pentacles. Oops, got a lot of cards falling out here. Someone's spirit guides really want them to hear this. Again, it's a confidence issue because with the Two of Pentacles, we get the World, the King of Wands, the Three of Pentacles. And the King of Wands is all about confidence, and the World is about completion, feeling complete. And the Three of Pentacles is about building something up. And so you could be struggling to just build up your confidence in general. I'm wondering what it is that you're struggling with. It could be in the past, other people affected your self-image. It could be like a relationship in the past made you doubt yourself, and this is kind of bringing up those fears. You're meant to learn a lesson here about your own confidence and move past any blockages that you have with the Six of Swords. Spirit wants you to move ahead into the next version of yourself. And that version of yourself is one that steps fully into their power. Let's take a look at that with the King of Swords, Two of Wands, the Star, the Queen of Swords. Wow. So oftentimes when we talk about connections, we talk about mirroring, right? Especially with the Two of Cups. Sorry, I'm dog sitting. The dog's barking. Oftentimes in connections, Hank, stop. Just gonna wait for the jogger to go by. All right, so oftentimes in connections, oh my gosh. Oftentimes in connections, we go through this mirroring process. And that's really what the Two of Cups card is all about, is asking, what does this person bring out of you? Or where can you see yourself in this other person? Strengths, weaknesses, all of that. And I'm seeing here that there's something that you see in this other person that you would love to have yourself, like a quality. Like maybe they're really confident and you want to be as confident as they are. Or maybe they're really intelligent and it brings out how much you wish that you were smarter or something like that. And so this person sort of, without meaning to, kind of triggers an insecurity within you because they have a quality that you really admire and it shows you, I kind of want to be more like that. And that is kind of what makes you question your intelligence. Now what's interesting is we have the Wheel of Fortune in the middle of the deck, and Wheel of Fortune is Sagittarius energy, by the way, so lots of confirmation here if you have Sagittarius placements listening to this. But the Wheel of Fortune means that there's a destined change. There's something fated about this connection where it's meant to help you elevate and help you grow into something else. And this doesn't have to be a romantic connection. This could be someone that you work with and they're really good at what they do and you really admire them and you want to have more of those qualities. Or maybe this is a mentor or a parent figure and you want to be more like them when you're older. Something like that. But there's something here, there's like a spiritual lesson, a karmic lesson that you're meant to learn by engaging with this person. Let's take a look at that with the Wheel of Fortune. The Ace of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Five of Wands. So basically this is supposed to bring out illusions that you might have about yourself. If you think you're not good at something or you're not good enough, if you have a limiting belief, if you have things you've been telling yourself about what you're capable of, this connection is meant to highlight that so that you can actually move through those insecurities. So if you feel good in this connection most of the time, but every so often you find yourself, questioning yourself, doubting yourself, or having to, handle those insecurities, know that there's a lesson there in that for you about what it is you've been struggling with, and that it's just being reflected to you in a new way. Let's take a look at that Seven of Swords. I want to know what it is that you haven't been seeing clearly. Something to do with self-love. At some point, you might have left behind like your gentler, more nurturing side in order to get shit done and be like a go-getter. And there's something here about ending a cycle that of where you just power through and you're always stronger and you're always stronger and you're always stronger. And in the Queen of Wands card, there's a black cat that my attention is being drawn to. So some of you might have a black cat or a pet that you connect to. But I'm also seeing this as oftentimes black cats symbolize bad luck. But they're not actually bad luck. That's like a misconception. It's a superstition. And the Queen of Wands is someone who's very confident and kind of goes after what she wants, but she can also sometimes rush into action or make assumptions. And so there might be assumptions that you're making about yourself, and you're coping with it by like rushing forward. And you've left behind some of your gentleness. And Spirit is kind of just saying, be kinder to yourself, really focus on how you're speaking to yourself, how you're speaking about other people. Does it come from a genuine place of kindness, or are you jumping into action without thinking about your words? There's something very painful there. The Ten of Swords just came out. There could be a way that you kind of stab yourself in the back or hurt yourself with what it is you say or think about yourself. And so Spirit's asking you to be gentler and to see your own strengths and to have more confidence. Let's take a look at the Lovers card. We have the Lovers, the Four of Swords, and the Four of Cups. So I'm seeing here that you actually don't need to worry about this connection. This is a connection, like I said, that's very divinely guided. It could feel destined. This is someone of significance in your life, whether or not it's romantic. You're going to feel some type of, deep connection to them. And it's deep enough that you don't really have to worry about superficial things with the Four of Swords. You don't have to worry about all those things that happened in the past where things went wrong. You don't have to worry that you're not providing enough. You don't have to worry that you're not good enough. Like, the connection itself is more powerful than that. But there's a part of you that might not accept yourself with the Four of Cups that could get in the way of this connection if you're not careful. Let's take a look at what this juicy connection is all about with the Lovers. The Knight of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Four of Wands. If you take the time that this relationship is asking you to take to open up to it, if you really feel into it and take it day by day and don't rush ahead, it could lead to something very powerful. It could feel very stable, very secure, and good things take time, and that's kind of what I'm seeing. But over time, I'm seeing that this could become more supportive and more foundational to your life than you might even be expecting. And it's like you don't have to really worry about things because A, this relationship is going to get there naturally, and B, it's going to take care of you. So for the Four of Swords, we have the Devil, the Nine of Wands, and the Hermit. Those things that you're struggling with internally, like the insecurities and the exhaustion, the self-flagellation, the ways you're hard on yourself, you're meant to kind of rest in this connection. This connection is supposed to be a resting place for you where you can kind of let down those burdens. You can speak to yourself kindly. You can be loved. You can love someone else. And it's kind of requiring you to heal the part of you that goes around and around within yourself on different cycles of toxicity. So maybe that's speaking negatively to yourself or to your partners. Maybe it's putting yourself down or putting your partner down. Maybe it's just hardship in general, financial hardship. There's something here about coming together with this person and both of you being all the better for it, and it's kind of effortless. You got the Three of Pentacles a couple times in this reading, and the Three of Pentacles is about two things coming together and amounting to something that's larger than the sum of their parts. So even if you feel kind of small by yourself, and even if this other person does too, when you come together, it will reflect back to you your strengths, and you'll be able to build and grow to the point where you become something bigger than you would have been if you were alone. So teamwork makes the dream work, right? All right, let's look at the Four of Cups. Two of Swords, Nine of Swords, Ace of Cups. Again, I'm just seeing, you have this option here to allow love to be kind of poured over all your insecurities, all of the things you get wrapped up in your head about, all the things you overthink. You have this opportunity for gentleness and care. And so make sure that you're not pushing it away from you. And sometimes when we're not used to being loved and we've only been through painful things or we've only struggled, we actually push away those gifts of love that are trying to reach us because we're more comfortable in fight or flight. We're more comfortable in survival mode. And so there might be love that comes your way and you might not even see it because you're so busy kind of being stressed and being upset. And if you're listening to this and you're like, this doesn't relate to me, I'm never going to find a connection like that, etc., etc., this actually might be more for you than for anyone else because you could be someone who's so wrapped up in just this sort of fear-based mentality that you reject love before it can even make its way to you. So make sure that you're being open, and make sure that if something speaks to you, that you follow it, even if you're scared, even if it's unusual, even if it takes you outside of your comfort zone, because that's what I'm seeing here. Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles, 10 of Cups is your advice from the universe. So you're on the precipice of something new and something really wonderful, Sagittarius. So make sure that you catch it when it comes in. And that you're not too buried in your fears to see it coming, because this is something that is kind of destined for you. It's really going to speak to your soul, and there's an opportunity for a lot of happiness if you let it go that direction. So that's what I have for you. I hope this helps. I hope this resonates, and I'll see you next time.